So you're thinking about moving to Brooklyn? Don't. Instead, move to these Queens neighborhoods that are a stone's throw away from Brooklyn. If this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything about living in Queens, New York, then subscribe below, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about the current market in Queens. My name is Smith with eXp Realty. We have calls and emails every day from people just like you looking for help when making a move to Queens, and we absolutely love it. Whether you're moving 9 days or 90 days, feel free to get a call, shoot a text, or send us an email. All the information in the description below so I help you make a smooth move to Queens. Don't move to Brooklyn. So I must say, I do actually love Brooklyn a lot. My parents are from and actually met in Brooklyn. So Brooklyn, aka Kings County, is the westernmost edge of Long Island. But if you didn't know that the New York City boroughs of Brooklyn and Queens are technically on Long Island, though when most people refer to Long Island, they're referring to Nassau County and Suffolk County. Brooklyn has a population of about 2.58 million people, making it the most populous New York City borough. So New York City boroughs in terms of population size is Brooklyn, Queens, Manhattan, the Bronx, and Staten Island. And Brooklyn is the second densely most populated New York City borough, being, the second most densely populated New York City borough after, New York County, aka Manhattan, aka the city. So Brooklyn's location, to the east of Brooklyn, you have my borough. I might be biased, but I believe it's the best place in the world, aka Queens, the world's borough. To the west of Brooklyn, you have the often unforgotten, overlooked, Staten Island. Man, shout out Staten Island. Shout out to Wu-Tang. Shout out to Stapleton. Shout out to Clifton. Shout out to Park Hill. Shout out to the Africans, West Africans in Staten Island. And a special shout out to, particularly my people, Sierra Leoneans. And then to the north of Brooklyn, we have Manhattan, aka the city. So I'm not gonna lie, I think when a lot of outsiders think of Brooklyn, I think when a lot of outsiders think of New York City, first they think of Manhattan, then they think of Brooklyn. Some people may think of Queens, some people may think of the Bronx, but I feel that, Manhattan and Brooklyn gets the most love to outsiders. What y'all think? So to reiterate, I really do love Brooklyn. As I said before, my parents are from and met in Brooklyn. As you can see, I'm a lifelong Knicks fan, but I reluctantly admit I slightly like the Barclays Center, where the Nets play, slightly better than Madison Square Garden. Sorry if that's blasphemy. And I like the Coney Island Boardwalk, and I like Brooklyn Bridge Park. When I want some giant cookies, I go to Levain Bakery in Williamsburg. I had fun at the Afro Punk Festival in Brooklyn, which I believe was in Greenpoint. I love the Music Hall of Williamsburg. I love Brooklyn still. I used to go to church in Bushwick, I think right off Jefferson Avenue. Shout out to Celestial Church of Christ. There comes a but I really dislike driving to Brooklyn. That's why, low-key, being from Queens, I'm showing y'all around Queens, Long Island, and the Bronx, because I don't mind driving to those places, but I really don't like driving into Brooklyn. I don't like none of them highways that go into Brooklyn. I don't like the Brooklyn and Queens Expressway. I don't like the Jackie Robinson Parkway, and I don't like the Belt Parkway. Driving in Brooklyn and parking in Brooklyn can be brutal, especially in popular areas like downtown Brooklyn, Williamsburg, Bushwick, Greenpoint, Fort Greene, etc. Instead of moving to Brooklyn, you can move into these Queens neighborhoods I'm going to talk about that are right next to and right near Brooklyn, so you can enjoy Brooklyn but still live in Queens. I'm not gonna lie, I came up with this video idea while I was driving from Queens to Brooklyn while stuck in traffic on the Brooklyn Queens Expressway, aka the BQE. Interesting. Before I go into these Queens neighborhoods, I'll talk a little bit more about Brooklyn. So if you're a fan of rap, happy 50th anniversary to rap music and hip-hop culture. Some rap heavyweights and maybe some of the greatest of all times, like Jay-Z and the Notorious B.I.G., aka Biggie Smalls, are from Brooklyn. I know you want to, or you already go to and love going to Coney Island, bing bong, on the boardwalk to go to Nathan so you can get a hot dog. You gobble glizzies like Joe Chestnut. Pause. Then Brooklyn Bridge Park area again. I think it's Water Street, that particular street, I believe, with the cobblestone street and the Brooklyn Bridge in the background where people love to take them selfies. Yeah. Then Labor Day every year, barring unforeseen circumstances, there's the West Indian Day Parade on Eastern Parkway in Brooklyn. I actually went this past Labor Day. I had fun. Again, this is by no means any disrespect to Brooklyn. Brooklyn is a great place, but you know, for some it might be overcrowded. Driving on the highways in Brooklyn can be pretty brutal. Driving in the back streets sometimes can be brutal. Looking for parking, especially in popular areas, can be brutal. So I'm gonna give you some Queens neighborhoods where you're a stone's throw away from Brooklyn and you can access Brooklyn, but you still also get the benefits of living in Queens. You could think of it as being the best of both worlds, being able to access Brooklyn easily, living in Queens also. So let me tell you these Queens neighborhoods. So first I'm gonna start off with Glendale. So Glendale, you can say, is in the western or central section of Queens. Glendale has a population of about 37,607 people. Glendale is a New York City neighborhood. Living in Glendale offers an urban-suburban mixed feel. There are a lot of bars, restaurants, coffee shops, and parks in Glendale. Many young professionals live in Glendale. Depending on traffic and time of day, Glendale is about a 45-minute drive away from downtown Brooklyn. It's about a 15-minute drive away from Bushwick, and it's about a 20-minute drive away from Bed-Stuy. The median home value in Glendale is $830,000. So home options consist of co-ops, condos, single-family homes, and multi-family homes. The cheapest available property being a $455,900 condo, and the most expensive property being a $1.8 million mixed-use, storefront with 3 apartments. About 45% of Glendale residents own their homes, and the median household income in Glendale is $83,466. According to niche.com, Glendale is the 98th most diverse New York City neighborhood out of 227 New York City neighborhoods, and it's the 100th best New York City neighborhood for young professionals. Glendale is home to the shops at Atlas Park. Atlas Park is an outdoor mixed-use neighborhood center providing the finest in retail, dining, and entertainment. Includes stores like Adidas, Chili's, Cold Stone, Foot Locker, Home Goods, Laser Bounce, the Queens Bear Garden, Regal Cinemas, Starbucks, the United Skates of America. Parks in Glendale include Uncle Vito F. Maranzano Glendale Playground, Dry Harbor Playground, and Pinocchio Playground. Low-key, I shouldn't include this, but I gotta keep it real, gotta keep it transparent. Glendale is surrounded by, numerous cemeteries. Some of these cemeteries are the resting place of famous people and celebrities like Jackie Robinson, Mae West, and Harry Houdini. Some people from Glendale include the current AEW wrestler Big Bill, former MLB player Phil Rizzuto, sorry if I mispronounced that, and the musician Harry Houdini.
This is Glendale.
So next we have Maspeth. So Maspeth, you could say, is in the western section of Queens. Maspeth has a population of about 49,321 people. Maspeth is a New York City neighborhood. Living in Maspeth offers an urban-suburban mixed feel. There are a lot of bars, restaurants, and coffee shops and parks in Maspeth. A lot of young professionals live in Maspeth. Depending on traffic and time of day, Maspeth is about a 45-minute drive away from downtown Brooklyn. It's about a 20-minute drive away from Bushwick, and it's about a 30-minute drive away from Williamsburg. The median home value in Maspeth is $839,000. So home options consist of co-ops, condos, single-family homes, and multi-family homes. The cheapest available property being a $315,000 co-op, and the most expensive property being a $3.2 million two-family home. About 55% of Maspeth residents own their homes, and the median household income in Maspeth is $78,657. According to niche.com, Maspeth is the 40th most diverse New York City neighborhood out of 227 New York City neighborhoods, and it's the 92nd best New York City neighborhood for young professionals. My favorite place in Maspeth is the Knockdown Center. So the Knockdown Center is a music and concert venue. I tend to go there when there's, trap karaoke. I got to perform on stage a few times. Mona Lisa, I go sweep you off your feet. She said, what's up? She said, make some time for me. Time for me. For this life, man, you trap like hush puppy. We walked in, they stared. Please show them your best. Yeah, you know you lied to my day. Girl, you know you're all that I need. Give me a rush, I can't run away, I can't deny. When one back a man, well, one come try. But my love just take you high. All them people talk about you and I. When nobody listen to the lies, I get butterflies when I see ya. Yeah, 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 yeah. If I'm in love, it's for a reason. Yeah, 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 yeah. Baby, corner, corner. Waka, waka, want you enter, oh my Lisa. Corner, corner. Will you get me sugar? Well, holla, holla. My Joe Mona Lisa. 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 And then after going to the Knockdown Center, you could go to Joey's Pizza, which I believe is open till 1 a.m. Or you could go to Rose's Pizza, which I believe is open until 2 a.m. on Fridays and Saturdays. And then speaking of music again, you could venture out from Maspeth to the nearby Brooklyn neighborhood of Bushwick to go to the House of Yes, which is a performance-fueled nightclub. A funky venue showcasing dance, circus, theater, and cabaret performances in a former ice warehouse.
This is Maspeth.
Ridgewood. So Ridgewood is a neighborhood you could say that's in the western or southwestern section of Queens. Ridgewood has a population of about 62,091 people. Ridgewood is an NYC neighborhood. Living in Ridgewood offers a dense urban feel. There are a lot of bars, restaurants, coffee shops, and parks in Ridgewood. Many families and young professionals live in Ridgewood. Depending on traffic and time of day, Ridgewood is about a 40-minute drive away from downtown Brooklyn. It's about a 10-minute drive away from Bushwick, and it's about a 20-minute drive away from Williamsburg. The median home value in Ridgewood is $1,140,000. Home and options consist mainly of condos, single-family homes, and multi-family homes. The cheapest option being a $695,000 condo, and the most expensive option being a $2.7 million mixed-use property with 4 apartments and 2 storefronts. About 19% of Ridgewood residents own their homes, and the median household income in Ridgewood is $76,038. According to niche.com, Ridgewood is the 62nd best New York City neighborhood for young professionals out of 227 New York City neighborhoods, and it's the 77th most diverse New York City neighborhood. One point of interest in Ridgewood is the Vander and Einderdunk House, which is the oldest stone-built Dutch colonial in New York City, being around since 1709. And another major landmark in Ridgewood is the St. Matthias Roman Catholic Church. Ridgewood has a lot of historical districts. So there's 10 nationally recognized historical districts. Some include the Central Ridgewood Historic District, the Cornelia Putnam Historic District, the Seneca East Historic District, and the Fresh Pond Traffic Historic District. Ridgewood has 4 historic districts recognized by the New York City Landmarks Preservation Commission. 2 of these districts include the Ridgewood North and Ridgewood South Historic Districts. Forgot to mention this, but Ridgewood directly borders Brooklyn. So some things you could do in the nearby Brooklyn include going to the Area 53 Adventure Park in Williamsburg. This is, you could think of an indoor amusement park. You could do things here like ziplining, rock climbing, aerial ropes, and indoor skating. Another similar place is Metro Rock Bushwick. You could think of this as, a local rock climbing gym, offers indoor fitness activities, and can be used as a local space for kids' parties and events. Nearby, you can check out the Bushwick Collective and Art Gallery. If you want to check out some of the real estate options in Ridgewood, you could check out my Ridgewood vlog.
This is Ridgewood.
Middle Village. Middle Village is a neighborhood you could say that's in the western or central section of Queens. Middle Village has a population of about 30,573 people. Middle Village is a New York City neighborhood. Living in Middle Village offers an urban-suburban mixed feel. There are a lot of bars, restaurants, coffee shops, and parks in Middle Village. Many young professionals and retirees live in Middle Village. Depending on traffic and time of day, Middle Village is about a 45-minute drive away from downtown Brooklyn. It's about a 20-minute drive away from Bushwick. It's about a 35-minute drive away from Williamsburg. The median home value in Middle Village is $900,000. Home options consist of co-ops, condos, single-family homes, and multi-family homes. The cheapest option being a $220,000 co-op, and the most expensive property being a $2.5 million two-family home. About 55% of Middle Village residents own their homes. The median household income in Middle Village is $92,132. According to niche.com, Middle Village is the 82nd best New York City neighborhood for young professionals out of 227 New York City neighborhoods. And it's the 98th best New York City neighborhood to raise a family in. In Middle Village, there's Metro Mall, a 3-level shopping mall which includes stores like BJ's Wholesale Club, Burger King, Raymond Flanagan, and Mattress Firm. At Metro Mall, there's also Funtopia, an indoor amusement center with bumper cars, arcade games, a 3-level playground, and kiddie rides. Another place for children in the Middle Village area is Kids Play World and Cafe. And then another option for kid-friendly entertainment is Laser Bounce, which is at the Shops at Atlas Park and the nearby aforementioned Glendale. There's Juniper Valley Park, one of Queens' most beloved parks and an integral part of Middle Village, the neighborhood. It's about 55 acres. It includes tennis, handball, basketball, shuffleboard, and bocce courts. And it includes baseball fields, football fields, roller hockey, running tracks, fitness equipment, and playgrounds. Middle Village is also home to Christ the King High School, the Royals, a private co-ed Catholic high school in New York City, which often boasts some, nationally ranked elite boys and girls high school basketball teams. People like Sue Bird, Tina Charles, Speedy Claxton, Shamik Holstraw, and Lamar Odom attended Christ the King. Carmelo Anthony's son, Keon Anthony, attended Christ the King for 2 years before transferring to Long Island Lutheran High School.
This is Middle Village.
Woodside. Woodside is a neighborhood you could say that's in the western section of Queens. Woodside has a population of about 40,468 people. Woodside is a New York City neighborhood. Living in Woodside offers a dense urban feel. There are a lot of bars, restaurants, coffee shops, and parks in Woodside. Many young professionals live in Woodside. Depending on traffic and time of day, Woodside is about a 40-minute drive away from downtown Brooklyn. It's about a 20-minute drive away from Greenpoint and a 30-minute drive away from Williamsburg. The median home value in Woodside is $538,500. Home options include co-ops, condos, single-family homes, and multi-family homes. The cheapest option being a $195,000 co-op, and the most expensive option being a $2.4 million 3-family home. And about 28% of Woodside residents own their home. Median household income in Woodside is $72,448. According to niche.com, Woodside is the 43rd most diverse New York City neighborhood out of 227 New York City neighborhoods, and it's the 53rd best New York City neighborhood for young professionals. If you're a fan of bowling, you could go to Bolero Queens, which is in Woodside, and not too far from there, if you could go to Bow 360, which is in Astoria, and Astoria is another New York City Queens neighborhood, which isn't too far from Woodside. If you're a fan of pubs and bars, in Woodside you have options like the Bearkeeper Pub, Charlie Sports Bar, and Station Bar. One park in the Woodside area includes the St. Michael's Playground, which has handball courts, playgrounds, baseball fields, and fitness equipment. There's also Doughboy Plaza, a 1.71 acre park park, which includes dog-friendly areas. The Woodside Doughboy, aka the Lest We Forget, or the returning soldier statue in the park, serves to commemorate those in the community that served during World War I. Thank you, veterans, for your service. Woodside is also home to Little Manila, aka Filipino Town, which runs from 63rd Street to 71st Street on Roosevelt Avenue. So there's a lot of Filipino-owned businesses to service, the large concentration of Filipinos in this area. Some Filipino eateries include Casina Pinoy Bistro, Renee's Kitchenette and Grill, and Ihuan. Sorry if I mispronounced that. Little Manila Filipino Town attracts Filipinos and non-Filipinos from all over, including Long Island, New Jersey, Connecticut, and Pennsylvania.
This is Woodside.
So there you have it. Don't move to Brooklyn. Instead, move to Queens neighborhood on the Brooklyn border like Glendale, Maspeth, Ridgewood, Middle Village, and Woodside. So to recap, Brooklyn is the most populated New York City borough, and it's the second most densely populated New York City borough after Manhattan, aka the city. Brooklyn is probably the most internationally known New York City borough after Manhattan. Brooklyn is home to the Brooklyn Nets and the Barclays Center. It's home to Brooklyn Bridge Park and the Coney Island Boardwalk. Don't get me wrong, I love Brooklyn, and Brooklyn is a great place, but it may be overcrowded for some, and the traffic, driving, and parking situations, which is brutal and tough, may be a deal breaker or turn some people off. So instead of moving to Brooklyn, you could move to Queens neighborhoods that's on the Brooklyn border, neighborhoods like Glendale, Maspeth, Ridgewood, Middle Village, and Woodside. Being in these neighborhoods can think of it like being in the best of both worlds. You live in Queens, which is, the world's most diverse place, aka the world's borough. And tangent, you could check out my top 5 most diverse Queens neighborhoods to get an idea of the diversity in Queens. And then you also right near Brooklyn. And then I forgot to mention that these neighborhoods that are on the Queens and Brooklyn border are also not that far from Manhattan too. So you could say the best of like 3 worlds or so, being in these neighborhoods, being in Queens, but right on the border of Brooklyn and not too far from Manhattan. So again, these neighborhoods on the Queens and Brooklyn border, these neighborhoods like Glendale, Maspeth, Ridgewood, Middle Village, and Woodside, they're all in the western or like central section of Queens. So if you want to, move to New York City and you want to be near Brooklyn and Manhattan, but you don't want to necessarily live in Brooklyn and Manhattan, these neighborhoods or western or central section of Queens may be an option for you to take advantage of living in Queens but still being able to access Brooklyn and Manhattan. Just a thought. If this is your first time to this channel and you want to know everything about living in Queens, New York, then subscribe below, tap the bell for notifications so you can be the first to know about the current market in Queens. My name is Cornell Smith with EXP Realty. We get closing emails every day from people just like you, looking for help on making the move to Queens, and we absolutely love it. Whether you're moving in 9 days or 90 days, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email. All the information in the description below so help you make a smooth move to Queens. So as I mentioned before, don't move to Brooklyn. Instead, move to Queens on the Brooklyn border. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Have a good one. Peace.